Hey folks, it's Frithgar. Hey, how you doing? It's been... well, I spent the night, had a bit of rest in the evening. We were starting to get a bit late yesterday when we'd finished dealing with the sheep. So our sheep are now quite happy. Just take a quick look up here and you see we've got 30 sheep. They are at now 100%. They're only 54% cleanliness, so we will need to do something about working to keep them clean. And we currently have 19% of a pallet. They are 32 hours for their reproduction rate, so every day and a half we get a free sheep. And obviously if we can get a pile of money, we could get some more sheep and we could increase that quite drastically. So yeah, my question for this week is, do you want me to gather all of the gold nuggets? If I do go and gather all of the gold nuggets that are on the map, I will spend one episode next week doing so. Show you the more difficult to get ones. There should be a card have come up on the top right hand side of your screen now, so click on that one to cast your vote. It is your vote, it's your game. Now I just want to take a quick look through here, and right, field 5 has now been cultivated, so I could go and sow something on that one if I wanted to. We can do a couple of jobs up here on field 1 and field 6 so that we can continue trying to get the price down for that. We also have our own harvest ready to go. And that Steyr there, that one is ready to just go and spread fertilizer on the field there, so that is ready for cultivating. If we take a look at soil composition, we don't need to plough these 3 fields. They're all okay. Field 15 has got no fertilizer on it, so that will need to be fertilized. Before we do that, let's go and head up here to the combine and get that one started. But we're not just going to sit and watch the combine today. I was debating whether or not I should time-lapse some of the cutting, but I don't think I will today. Mainly because I am a little bit pressed for time this week, so I'm unable to do very much in the way of time-lapse. I thought I turned that one off. That one's been running all night. Well, at least it's fairly good on fuel consumption. It's still got 321 litres left, so that should be okay. Come up a little bit closer. Right, unfold the combine. Oh no, there. Unfold the combine. And start her up, and I'm just going to let the hired help do this one. H, there we go. So there is our little Comia Sampo Rosenlu combine chugging away, harvesting our beans. Now I don't know what sort of crop we're going to get out of this field, and we have enlarged this field a bit, so once we get down to the end I'll probably do just a pass or two along the bottom end of the field so that we can sort of just give us a bit of reassurance that the hired help isn't going to keep driving out onto the road. Although I have noticed that we don't get any traffic going past on that road. It seems to be a private road, which is actually really good because it means that we don't have to worry quite so much about traffic driving out onto it. So we'll just assume that that is actually a private road just for this farm, and that's why we don't see traffic there. I'm not quite sure why they've painted lines on it if it's a private road, but we never get traffic go along there. They always go around the other way. I suspect it's so that when you're starting out you don't have to worry about your machines getting tangled up with passing traffic, but yeah, that's just my little theory on the subject. See, we are going to have to... it's a little bit too much. It would be going right out onto the road if we didn't do this. So if I just turn round now and get the combine going again, come on round that way. I was wondering what else we could be doing today, and I think that I will go to field 14 and we will extend the field. We'll do a little bit of ploughing around the field. On the time-lapse map, you've seen that I've extended that field out quite a way, and that does seem to be quite a good way of doing it. We've ploughed up all of the track on one side, so I think I'm going to do the same on this map, or on this series. I don't really want to be doing identical stuff to between the time-lapse and this one every time, because, well, it's just, you know, you're not seeing anything new, are you? So I'm very conscious of the fact that I don't want to be repeating myself on the 2 maps, even though I am time-lapsing the other stuff, so it's happening a lot quicker. It is stuff that you've seen before, so I am aware of this. I'm not going to I'm not going to do that a lot, but I do think that's a very good idea. We get a nice extra slice of land down the side of that field, and it is quite a significant piece. So I definitely think that that is worth doing. So that is something I'm going to do now in a minute. As soon as I've gone up through here, I think what we'll do is we will use the Steyr and we will fertilise that other field. Which one is that? Just come out a minute. Field 15. Yeah, so we'll use the Steyr and we'll fertilise field 15, and then alright, let me just turn back round. There we go. Lower down. That should be enough space for us now. And I just get going up through there. I think that's probably okay there. So I'll let the hired help take over on that one, and we will jump out. Right. Yeah, that's enough. That's it's sorry, enough. That's it's over enough. I just wondered if I was going to be missing some crop, but I'm not. I think we'll be okay with that one. We should, well, actually, we may even fill the trailer up. I don't know. I really don't know. But first of all, let's get this fertilizer going so that we can have that finished. And then we can bring the Steyr back, and that one can go on the trailer if we want. I might actually use this, set the Steyr cultivating in this field. I'm going to use the hired help to do the fertilizer. I like using the hired help. I know a lot of people like to avoid using it because it does cost money. I mean, you look at our money ticking down now. We're using a significant amount of funds to pay for the hired help to do what they're doing. However, I really do like it. I like the hired help. It's straight, it's efficient, it does get the job done. I mean, it's not perfect. It can miss little bits, and if the field isn't square, it can get a little bit confused and so on. But generally it's a good thing to use. So I do like to use it a lot. Do I need to watch? Yeah, let's just watch this one be sown here. Just this fertilizer spread out. We'll take that trailer in a minute with the other tractor, and we'll drive up to the field with the combine, or will we? We might actually use this one to do that. We're going to get, actually, we'll skip out down here as soon as he's turned his fertilizer spreader off. We'll jump out, and there we go. He can carry on that way. We'll get this tractor now, and we'll put this one straight into the plough and start going around field, I can't remember the field numbers now, field 14. We'll start going around that one. So I won't leave the map on today because we're not travelling any distance. So you don't really need to see where we are. We're right up against the farm the whole episode this week, today rather. Let's come back in here and get that plough hitched on. I am hoping to upgrade the plough one day, although I don't know when that will be. We don't have the money for it at the moment. And obviously I'm not... I don't know why I keep driving on that grass. I should avoid driving on that grass. Obviously, I'm not buying stuff in this particular series. I am only leasing stuff. However, there is the cost of the initial lease. And we do have to keep that in mind, and also the fact that this tractor may not necessarily be suitable for something too big. Right, Helper H is saying that they're finished, so they do have a tiny strip up the side of the field where I slightly miscalculated. So if I just stop this tractor right here a second, because obviously we can't use the hired help to do that job. We do need to do that ourselves, so we will use the GPS. So here's a tiny little strip, it's just about 1 meter wide, but unfortunately we are going to need to do that. So let's start this one up. And I was thinking about doing this strip down here, ploughing that up, but I don't think I will, because if we do that, we're going to really limit the space that we've got for getting in and out of this shed here, and I think that we could do with keeping this space there. So for that reason, I'm not going to plough up the strip down the side of this field. This field's just going to stay the size that it is. And down there and stop. Right, I'll tell you what, while we've got this tractor, if we go and take this fertilizer spreader off, then we can hitch that trailer on and we can go over to the field and we're ready to unload those beans. I don't think we're going to get back to the combine before he's completely filled up. Not before he gets to the top, so we might have to come back to it in a little bit once it's gone round again. Lower that one down there. And you can see the camera mod hard at work here, so it doesn't jump forward in under the buildings. I really do like that camera mod. That is one that I quite enjoy using. And there we go. So yeah, that is... I have had people saying, oh, can I share links for mods and so on. I'm still only using the GPS mod from another website. Every other mod I use still is on the Farming Simulator main webpage. So that's why I don't provide any other links. Let's leave that one there, and we'll run back over to that one. And I will start ploughing. We're going to plough up all of that track on that side today, if we can, and get the GPS. I'll get the GPS and everything set up before I start. The Valtra is ready to go. I've set up the GPS, and then I've hidden it from sight, so it does look... it looks a little bit more realistic. You haven't got the lines all over the place. I think we'll try to avoid showing the lines too much today. I quite like using GPS without actually seeing that you're using the GPS. It does seem to have quite a nice effect to it. And this one is flashing at us, so it's nearly full. So if I just unload this one a sec, and then we can go back up to the Valtra and actually make a start on our ploughing. So how many litres does this tank hold? I can't remember now. I think it's like 7,000, isn't it? So if we've done this section of the field for a full tank, I reckon we're going to get more than a trailer full out of this whole field. Although we did do a little strip along the bottom as well, didn't we? We do have to keep that in mind. Oop. Slowing down too much. Concentrating on other things rather than where I'm driving. Very, very difficult to judge where you are when you're using a trailer like this. The trailers that I used to use, they were high like this, but they actually had a window on the front, so you could see the corn inside the trailer. And what you would do, they weren't turntable trailers like this one. Oh, so it's 4,000 litres that go into the trailer. Yeah, they weren't turntable trailers like this one. They were just drawbar trailers. And if we come out here... so yeah, you had a window right there that you could see through the cab, and what you would do is you would put grain at the front of the trailer. You would put quite a bit of grain in there until you could just see it through the window. Then you would pull forward and you would be filling the rear of the trailer, and you would then fill it right. If you started filling at the rear of the trailer, it would become quite light on the hitch, and it could be difficult to pull it round and possibly lift the tractor slightly, because on a drawbar trailer the wheel isn't right at the back, it's a bit further forward to take more weight of the trailer. So then you would fill the back right to the very top until you got as much as you could, and then you would just very slowly sort of slow down a little bit beside the combine and allow the grain to travel. If you just sort of look where the bottom of my screen is, you would fill it right up to the very top here, and then you would just slowly move the trailer along, filling the grain right to the very, very top, all the way along until you got to that point there, and then you would have a full trailer. The only bit that was actually really difficult to judge was here, with getting it right at the back, looking through the window and trying to get it right at the back there so that you fill to the rear of the trailer as much as possible. If you had someone who was good with the combine, they could just move the auger a little bit just to help you out a bit. And then the ones that weren't so helpful on the combine, they wouldn't do that. They would just sort of leave you to it. And so you wouldn't quite fill your trailer up, which I always prided myself on. Because of the distance we used to have to drive, it was something like, some of the places, it was a 2-hour round trip to empty out your trailer. And so I would pride myself on... let me just remove those lines now. And I want the auto offset this time, don't I? Yeah, so my offset is actually, I think my offset's on the wrong side, isn't it? Is that offset on the wrong side or not? I don't think it is, actually. I think because it's such a small plough, I don't think it is on the wrong side. Oh no, I auto width and now it goes to the other side. So yeah, it was on the wrong side. We've got the auto. Now I can turn that off and close that one down. There. Right, so where was I? Yeah, occasionally you would have, with your loading your trailer up completely, I think I've sort of judged it near the edge of this field, haven't I? Loading your field up, like filling the field, the trailer completely when you're in the field, a 2-hour round trip. I just took it as a personal matter of pride to fill that trailer to the absolute brim until you couldn't squeeze any more grain in there whatsoever. Because obviously if you're taking a trailer that's not quite full, it's very wasteful. It wastes fuel for the tractor because it's such a long trip. It slows things down. You might then have combines waiting in the field to be unloaded. Generally it's all bad things and things that you don't want to be happening, especially if this is a farm that you're working on. And if you're working on the farm, just because you don't own it, your wages are dependent on that farm being successful. So obviously you want to do everything you can to help the farm. And now I've heard people talking about jobs, oh, I don't care about my job, and so on and so forth. Yes, I completely understand not caring about your job, okay? I'm with you on that one, I do completely understand. However, there's a difference between not really caring about your job and not enjoying it, not liking it, and your actions sort of sabotaging the workplace. Because even if you don't like the job, at the end of the day, it does still pay you your wages. And yeah, it's never a good thing to try and hurt the people that are paying your wages, because it could end up that they can't afford to pay your wages anymore. And having a crummy job is better than having no job at all. And for those of you who are still in school, you've got all this to look forward to. You think school is bad, you wait until you're stuck in a job that you don't like. That's it'll make you remember your school days with fondness and think, oh, what was I complaining about? So yeah, I suppose really what you want to do is to try and find a job that you don't dislike. Because that's something that someone told me once, long time ago. If you can find a job that you genuinely love doing, you will never work a day in your life. And that's actually fairly accurate, because you'll always find that the things you love doing, it just don't feel like work, do they? So if you can find a job that you genuinely love doing, you'll never work again. And yes, I mean, it can be hard work and you put in a lot of hours, but it's just not the same as trying to work at a job that you really hate. Yeah, it's a completely different kettle of fish. When you love and enjoy the work, it's just completely different to anything else. And I have done quite a few jobs that I have genuinely loved and been sorry that I wasn't able to keep going with. And actually, I'll tell you what, let's go over to this side over here and we'll sort of see where the GPS is going to line us up, and then we can work this top end in a minute. And come down about here. If I take it to the middle here, let's just see where he's going to send us. It's going to be sort of, it's overlapping half of them. That'll be okay. We can live with that. Then we'll bring the roller up round here and do some in a minute. I think we get a message when the hired help is filled up, don't we? So there's our flag, and that bit, yeah, it's like a border on the flag, isn't it? Yeah, I don't know if people can see that. You see the blue and the white on the right hand side there. We'll look at the flag upside down at the moment. That is pretty cool, that one. But we've seen it now, so we don't have to keep it any longer. I'm trying to think of a topic of discussion for today. And I know what it is. I know what my topic of discussion is. Talk about your dream job. Talk about what you would really love to do with your life. And do you have your dream job? Or are you working towards your dream job? Are you still in school? Are you wanting, is there a particular job that you want to get? And also, let me know about the jobs that you've had, you have hated, that you have absolutely despised every moment of, and just, could not wait to finally be able to say, adios, amigos, I don't work here any longer. Now, I've had a job like that. Most of the jobs that I've had, I've quite enjoyed. Some of them have sort of gotten a bit, it wears a bit thin after a while, and so you fancy a change of pace. But I have had a job. I worked in a factory for more than 10 years, and I liked that job when I first started there, and due to changes in the approach of management towards the workforce, and the way that certain things were carried out, and then just because I'd been there for a very long time and the job, I just wasn't passionate about it. I grew to really genuinely hate the job, and it takes its toll on you to get up in the morning knowing that you've got to go and spend the day doing something that you really, really hate. And what is this tractor doing? Hang on, let me just lift that one up. Come back here. Quite sure. If I come over this side a little bit, maybe, and then we line up again. Quite sure why the GPS has moved us over quite that much. It's a bit better. There we go. So yeah, and I did for a long. I don't work in the factory any longer. I now work as a builder. It's not something I'm overly passionate about, but there are some good moments with it. And I'm never going to be particularly passionate about being a builder. It's something that I can do. It's a job. It's work that I know how to do. and there are aspects of the job that I really love, but the job as a whole is not something I'm hugely passionate about. To be honest, this is YouTubing that I'm passionate about. This is what I want to do, and this is what I have been working towards for quite a long time. And thanks to everybody that's watching, I am now beginning to turn it into a career. I haven't yet, and it will take quite a while still, but it is. I am in the first stages of actually being able to turn this into my career. And so for that, I thank you. I thank you for all of the support that you've given me, because it's only because of everybody that is watching this that my dream is slowly starting to become a reality, and it's absolutely amazing. It's such a wonderful feeling. So if you don't have something that you are working towards, find what you're passionate about in life. That's what you should do. You find what you're passionate about and then work towards it, because that's really what you want. You don't spend your lives going to work for someone else doing something that you don't like, right? Please learn from my mistakes. I was doing that for more than 10 years, and yeah, never again. I won't do that again. I will find a way to do something that I love, one way or another. And so I would urge you all to do the same. Oh, Helper D has a full grain tank. We'll head down there. I have been talking for a very long time, and I've just been ploughing up the track here. I'm going to move right out to there. I probably won't get to finishing that today. I might. So yeah, I know that the topic of discussion is jobs and what jobs you love and what you want to do. And if you've ever had a job that's been a dead end job that you've hated, and you've had to go and do it for whatever reason. There are 100 different reasons that you have to go and do your job that you don't like, and I completely understand. I've been in that position. Sometimes you just do what you got to do, don't you? Sometimes you have to do what you have to do, and that's all there is to it. That's the only explanation there is. You got to do it, so you go and do it. Just jump over here, and we'll go and empty this one out. Oh, well, there was one other thing I said. Also, in the comment section today, just let me know if you would like me to hold off doing the rolling around the edge of that field until next week. Because if you do, I will, and I will film just going around the outside of the field with the roller and just tidying it up, getting the track and just doing sort of the corners and that. If you don't want me to, I'll get it done before next episode, and we will do something different next week. We could very well be doing some gathering of gold nuggets, in which case we might do the rolling in the second episode, because if we're going to gather the gold nuggets, I will do that in the first episode next week. Yeah, I don't think we'll wait any longer than that. Right, let me just go and move this tractor back down to the bottom of the field so that I can unload again, and then we'll go back over to the plough. I've nearly run out of time today. Wondering how many more passes. I think this is going to have to be the final pass down through here. We've ploughed up all of the track now, and this extra little piece besides. Don't know if I can get any more out of it. I might be able to squeeze one more, but I've got to remember that I've got to put the width of the roller up through there as well. So I'm not sure if I do have enough room. I think I do. I also got to make sure that I've actually got the edge of the field there. I'll tell you what, we'll change it around. I can always go and do a bit more. Just jump out a second. I want to make sure that I have definitely got the edge of the field here. So you got the green. Oh no! Look, see, it's green underneath. Oh no, it's green underneath anyway. So is this the edge of the field, or was the edge of the field over here? Does it show on here? Are we going to be able to see it on this bit? No. Oh well, that's soil composition, growth, right? Yes, you can see it there because the green is just the standard green, but now that shows that as ploughed up, so we're okay on that one. Alright, let's go back and we'll do one more pass, and then we can start going along the top end of the field, I think. If I just do once more, so let's flip the plough over and come back up here. Just back down a little bit. That's about there, I think. Put that one up. Right. Yeah, so if you've enjoyed today's episode, then please head down below and give me a like. And if you really enjoyed it, then please tell your friends all about me. Get them to come and watch as well. That would be awesome. Our combine is still chugging away over there. I'm going to finish that harvest before next episode. and I will finish doing the bit of ploughing that I've got around here. But like I said, just let me know if you'd like to see the rolling or just around the edge of this field, and if you do, I will feature that in either the next episode or the one after, depending on what the situation is with the gathering of all the gold coins. Right, I want to come up a little bit. See, I'm actually just starting to move into the side of that rock there, which is not something that I want to be ploughing up. Now, which way round am I going to do this? I think if I plough it into the field. Right, I'm fairly certain that that is actually right there, the edge of the field. I think that is the boundary of the field. So I need to bring this one up now, and I want to rotate it 90 degrees. I will just bring that up so I can check where the lines are. That's all okay. So I remove the lines, I put that on, and then I remove that. Right. Did I actually put it going? I don't know if I did or I didn't. That's really annoying when I do that. I can't remember if I'd actually I couldn't remember if I'd actually put it going or not. Do you ever find that you do something and then like a split second later you can't remember if you've actually done it or not? I find it happens if I'm doing something repetitive. I kind of zone out. I always zone out. I zone out a lot. This is something that Steyr, my wife, berates me on frequently. Some of you may remember Steyr from back in my Minecraft days, back when my channel was first starting. I used to do a lot of Minecraft, and she would do videos with me. Yeah, so Sen is frequently telling me that I zone out all the time, and it does frustrate her a bit. I can't say that I blame her. Yeah, I find it frustrating myself. I'm doing something and I zone out like I did just then with the GPS thing. I put it going, and then a split second later I couldn't remember if I'd actually done it. And yeah, that is annoying. The worst thing is when I used to do grain carting, and you do, once you get back to the yard, what we would have to do is we'd have to weigh the trailer. Now we didn't actually have a weigh bridge. Oh no, I didn't actually want to do that. We didn't have a weigh bridge on the big arable estate that I worked on. What we had was these little pressure gauges, and you put them onto the trailer. You had a like an extra attachment on the hydraulic pipe, and you would put these little gauges on there, and then you would lift the trailer up just a fraction. You had a set measurement. We had these little dials on there, so it showed how high we needed to lift the trailer, and then you would record the measurement that came up on the little gauge. And then you'd use that, you'd look on the chart, you would convert that over to the actual weight that was recorded, and then you would stick that down on the sheet. So that bit was nice and easy. Then you would have to lower the trailer down, take the gauge off, then lift the trailer back up, and back into the pit and tip the trailer out. Before you could tip it out, you lower it down, you back into the pit, then you get out of the tractor, you go around the back of the trailer, and you unhook the bar on the back that keeps the tailgate closed. And then, because we didn't have the a lot of the grain trailers these days will have like the door seals itself on the back, but we didn't have those. We had gates that you actually had to manually open. So of course then, once you'd finished tipping, you had to get out and you had to make sure that you'd closed the back gate. Sounds simple enough. It's not rocket science. It's not really complicated stuff. But because you were doing it all the time, constantly, day after day after day, time after do it hundreds of times a day. Well, maybe not hundreds, especially on the longer trips. You do it like 8 or 10 times in a day. But yeah, you'd be constantly doing this job, and so you'd forget different bits. Oh, did I take the gauge off? Well, then you can just turn around and look behind. But it was shutting the tailgate. I, at least a couple of times, forgot to close the tailgate and then went back into the field. It was noticed most of the time, but there was one occasion where I didn't see it and nobody else seen it either, and we stuck a load of grain into the trailer, and then it was noticed because the grain was going into the trailer and pouring out the back onto the floor. So I was not very popular with the manager that particular day. I can assure you he was not impressed with it. But, we did manage to sort it out, and I had to go and get a shovel and clean it all up and so on and so forth. But, yeah. So, anyway, I have run out of time now, so until next time, thank you very much for watching, folks. This is Frithgar. Goodbye, and see you later.